Hi, this is Kumar Singh from Designed Analytics LLC and welcome to another episode of Maverick Mondays. Well, I made a last minute change to the topic of today's episode because of an event that happened during the long weekend, flash floods in Texas. Basically what happened is that there's a local river that got over flooded because the area, or essentially the river, saw 4 months equivalent of rain within a span of 6 hours, I think. So the level quickly rose more than 20 feet, swept away homes and people, and so far 80 plus lives have been lost. Right? Now, one key thing to understand is that the area is not new to flash floods. In fact, that very same area is identified as one of the most flash floods prone region in the United States, and it saw a kind of a similar natural catastrophe in, I think, 1987. Right? So with that in mind, you would certainly think, why were there measures not in place to kind of help save as many lives as possible? Now, first of all, you have to give some leeway to those responsible for putting these measures in place, because the rate at which the water level rose was extremely fast, right? Very fast. Right? But still, even a headway of 10 or 15, even 10 minutes would have saved countless lives, specifically the lives of small children who got swept away, right? So, on one hand, when I was thinking about this, right? On one hand, we talk so much about technology, right? Like, if you read about technology, things that AI can do, right? Here, there are 4 or 5 different solutions that you can create in increasing level of difficulty and complexity of technology that could have helped provide kind of an advanced warning, not like a significant long duration, but at least 10 to 15 minutes of advanced warning. Even 5 minutes would mean a lot in this kind of scenario, you have to remember, right? To those residents, those campers who actually lost their lives, right? So you read all this advanced things, all these advanced innovations that are coming our way, and they will happen, right? They will happen, they are all doable. But the point is, why whenever a new technology comes on the horizon and there are so many promises, most of them do not get fulfilled? The reason is we are not looking hard enough, or like we are not able to connect the problems that exist with technology solutions, right? And like I mentioned earlier, you can have 5 different level of solutions, right? From simple to complex. Let's cover the most simple one, right? Just to kind of show you how this problem, like this, the number of lives that have been lost could have been significantly lower, right? First of all, you have to agree that the rate at which the water level rose was extremely fast, giving first responders very little time to respond, right? So the best way would have been, like the best way to mitigate loss of lives would have been if the people who were going to get impacted or who were getting impacted kind of tried to get to safety, right? Now, if you live in a decent town or city, you have these warning systems based on some local natural phenomenon that happens, based on whatever mother nature fury that area experiences. For example, it's tornadoes here, right? So the city that I live in has a warning system, a tornado warning system. Every month, I think first Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m. they test it, right? Now, let's go to the simplest solution that you could have used in this, right? If you have, right, water measuring devices, right, or even like simple water detection sensors, right, placed in strategic areas, because remember, this region is identified as flash flood prone area. So identifying key strategic areas using GIS would not be difficult. You place these solutions, these are just like vertical bars with these sensors mounted at regular intervals, right? So suppose the first sensor And these sensors will detect water even when there is not a threat of flash floods, right? So the rate of rain, like maybe 1 or 2 inches overall, and that wouldn't be a cause of worry, right? But in a situation like this, right, the first sensor detects water, right, and the sensor triggers only when it kind of is submerged in water, and you can have few different factors at play, right? And then the second sensor, right, comes into play. When the water level increases and comes to the second sensor, there is a device mounted at the top of that vertical bar. It has both a smart camera, right, and a small edge device. Measuring the time between the first and the second sensor and the third sensor, it could be a number of sensors, the device can figure out how quickly the water level is rising in those particularly prone areas and where the rate of rise qualifies for a flash flood, right? That can be verified with a mounted camera as well, right? So simple IoT devices and simple sensors. And then you can actually, right, pair these with an automated warning system, just like the tornado warning system that I was mentioning, that when the rate of increase comes to a certain level, if it crosses certain parametric thresholds, the warning gets triggered out automatically. Remember, people will always forgive a false warning, which if designed properly would rarely happen, but people will not forgive this kind of situation that has happened. That's the Maverick idea. That's the simplest solution. I can keep on going, and these are all reactive, right? Because again, the truth is it was very difficult to use any form of AI or anything to predict it, right? So saying that AI could have predicted it would be selling snake oil, but technology can help actually create many reactive systems that could have provided 10, 15, even 5 minutes of time for those impacted to get to some place where they may have been safe. So that's the Maverick idea for this week. I will see you again tomorrow with another episode. Thanks for watching.